Here I'm going to show you how to find the solution to a system of equations using determinants using the DESMOS calculator. The calculator is going to save a lot of time in finding the determinants of each of these four matrices that we're going to set up. So just to recall, when you have a system of equations, so more than one equation, you are trying to look for the point that is a solution to each of those equations. If we were to graph it, the point x, y, z, that solution is the point where those three equations intersect. So here they're giving us the formulas to find that x, y, and z, and we're going to use this where it's showing us where the a's are in front of the x's, the b's are in front of the y's, the c's are in front of the z's, and all of those equations equal the d's. So we're going to use those a, b's, c's, and d's to create our matrices. So let me show you the format of each matrix. For D, D is just the A's, the B's, and the C's. So if we look at our equations, the numbers in front of the X's are -2, 3, -1. The numbers in front of the Y's are +2, -2, and 1. The numbers in front of the Z's are 1, 1, and -2. So this is kind of the standard format, and each of these dx, dy, and dz are very similar to this, except for one of those columns are going to change. It's important to know with these matrices, the first column is your x, the second column is your y, and the third column is your z. So one of those columns is going to change. For dx, the column that's going to change is the x column. So the x column is no longer going to be the a1, a2, and a3. It's going to be the d1, d2, and d3. It's going to be what they are equal to. So that one is going to be 14, -5, -8. But all of the other numbers are going to stay the same as our D matrix. So that is the matrix we will put into the DESMOS calculator. For the second one, dy, all of the columns are going to stay the same except for the y column. That's the one that's going to change to d1, d2, and d3. But the first and second column are going to stay the same. So the second column is going to be that 14, -5, -8. But the first and second column are going to stay the same as our original D matrix. And then for the third one, you could probably guess which column is going to change for DZ. The third column, the Z column, now is going to change. It's no longer the C's, it's now going to be the D1, D2, D3. But the X and Y column are going to stay the same. So that third column is going to be the 14, -5, -8, but the other two columns are going to stay the same. So -2, 3, -1, 2, -2, 1. So these matrices now, we're going to go to that DESMOS calculator I told you about to find the determinant of each. So when we go to DESMOS, we go to desmos.com/matrix. And what we need to do is define the matrix. So you click New Matrix. Now these matrices have 3 rows and 3 columns. So you click 3 and 3, and that gives you the skeleton of what the matrix will look like, and you just need to enter in your numbers. So I'm just going to show you how to do one of these because it's the same process for each one. So I'm just going to tab up. You can use your keyboard or you can use your mouse. once you have your matrix defined, you can now do things to your matrix. You can multiply your matrix by a number. You can add it to another matrix if you define that matrix. For this one, we want to find the determinant. So what we need to do to create another row is click the return button in the bottom right corner, and that gives us a row. The determinant button is the one that says DET. So you click that and you say A. And it tells us the determinant of matrix A is 5. And then you can move on to your next matrix. So just create that next matrix, put in the numbers that you have that we did on that last slide. I guess I'm going to do 2. So this is that DX matrix. So I want to find the determinant of that. So I press the return button in the corner to give myself a new row and press DET of this matrix, which is B, and tells me it's negative 15. So I did the other 2 already. So let's talk about what to do now that we have these numbers. So let me tell you, the determinant of D was 5, dx is negative 15, dy is 5, and dz is 30. So what we're doing is we are going to substitute that into these formulas. X is dx over d. So x is negative 3. Y is dy over d. So that equals 1. And z is dz, which is 30, over d. So what we found out is the solution that all 3 of these equations have in common is negative 3, 1, 6. If we enter negative 3 in for x, 1 in for y, and 6 in for z, the answer will be 15. And it will be true for the second and third equation as well.